And talk about under control. Seems like Navy Thomas 8 is kind of getting it, kind of figured out what is going on with Barbie. Even though he doesn't have the bike there, it would be a lot easier if the bike was there. Yeah, they're getting it covered under warranty. But yeah, it might be getting under warranty, but it's like it still bothers him because he doesn't know what's going on, and I can totally understand that as a former diesel mechanic. And I mean, it'll just drive you nuts. And let's pull over here. I felt a little too comfortable there, I think. But yeah, this is not a problem here. It's just stop for a minute. But yeah, I can totally understand where he's coming from with his bike. I mean, the Barbie, it's been a nuisance since he's gotten a race, basically, except for short periods of time. And yes, it's under warranty. But I mean, yeah, I razz on about it being an evil bike and being a BMW and everything, but I'll be honest with you, that I don't see it as a manufacturer issue. I really don't. And I could be wrong. I really could be wrong. I mean, I don't have the bike. I'm not looking at it. You know what I mean? But from what I'm looking at and what Tom and I and others have seen on this, the valve cover issue didn't happen until, let's have some fun. Wow, that got deep. I was saying, it didn't start until we it didn't start until after he had the valve, the pressure release valve done, and I got a hunch feeling that it was more the mechanic at the dealer mistake than anything else. What I'm saying is there's something to do with maybe a pressure release, a pressure venting tube or a hose. What looks like in the pictures we've seen, it's a hose. And it might have been moved, pinched, something. And we're kind of thinking maybe it's getting condensation in there with the oil mix and everything else, and it's kind of like maybe freezing and blocking. That's one theory. Neutral, damn it. And what happened is my boot's wet and I can't quite feel it right. And saying that, leave my turn signal on, I think if they don't catch it, I mean, once they get it warmed up inside of a garage and everything, it probably will go away, and they're not going to be able to find out what's going on. And I think it kind of uses the heat from the engine to keep that from happening. So what I've suggested is to make sure it's a little closer to the engine or in its proper spot whenever Tom gets it, which he's got to take most of the bike apart to do that, and maybe even make a little take a piece of tin and make like a shroud to go over to invert the heat back to it from the engine to keep it from doing that if that's the problem, if it's not being pinched. I mean, it's a rubber hose. It can be pinched easily. Another one of my suggestions has been, and this is not one of the most common thought suggestions of the bunch of us, was to basically splice into the hose a few inches from the bottom and a few inches from the top, and just run a metal tube from the top to the bottom. And that way, and the thought on that is rubber is kind of porous, and I mean it causes like friction, and where the metal tube hopefully wouldn't have the friction to be able to, you know, clog so easily. I mean that's just a shot in the dark, and it's like it may or may not. I've seen many fixes like this on autos doing stupid things like this, and I mean, not really a big deal. Like I said, I don't think it's a manufacturer problem per se. I think it's more of a I hate to say this because it's not really a dealer problem, it's a mechanic problem. I mean, I ran into this being as a mechanic, seen other mechanics that weren't quite up to snuff, and I mean, certain mechanics don't have the knack for certain things, and anybody that points to, put their hand up right here. There are certain things that are easy. I was doing them, working in diesel mechanics, that was just not my forte. I mean, I just couldn't get my head around it and do it. I don't know why. So it became a problem for me. So it was like, well, but I always had somebody else that I trusted that had the time to kind of look over my work and say, okay, after I get done, and say, did I miss anything? Is the torque specs right? And they normally take a few minutes and say, yeah, they look great, even though I didn't trust myself. Tell you what, 60 degrees, it's 58.5. Actually, the thermometer says. Feels a little colder when you got wet pants. I should have thought twice about going to that mud puddle. Damn, was that deep. Stupid me, I kind of wanted to shift from first to second while I was halfway through the mud puddle, and it went right into neutral. Like, damn. Oh, pardon my language on that too. I shouldn't be swearing. Let's go here.